Anyway, you would like this movie because it's about Alexander the Great, but he's clearly just a very gay man the whole time.
What?
He just keeps fucking. There's always hot lady boys wherever he goes. That's all.
Yeah, dude. What?
The whole
Are you serious?
The whole campaign was ruined by hot lady boys.
Did you ever hear his speech he
Jared
gave?
Leto's in it.
What?
Jared Leto's a hot lady boy.
One, they dress him up like a Persian lady boy.
He looks so good.
He can get mysterious as fuck, dude.
Dude, he had eyeliner. Very mysterious.
I was just about to say, he must have had that like crow level deep.
But there's a lady boy that they encounter when they head east.
Yeah, that's a secret weapon, dude.
They expand the empire east. But now they are Greek and Macedonians, so they're always plowing boys after battles.
Yeah.
The sweet boys come in. They party after battles. Sweet boys. You just killed a bunch of guys. You and all your boys just got stabbed.
Yep. Send the women home to be
They're all
servants.
tired. They all literally just got stabbed for like 8 hours, and then they lay down with the boys. And there's one
in the movie. Are they just fucking boys the whole time?
Yes.
Stop. Really?
Throughout, scantily clad, very exotic boys.
Really?
I remember the first time I saw it. I was a young man, and there's one lady boy that the first time I saw him, I was like, I don't like him.
Really?
He did that to me.
Really?
Even as a young boy, I saw this the first time they showed this lady boy on screen. I was like, get him out of here.
You were pissed.
I was furious.
He was crossing wires, dude.
Because he crossed wires hard, dude. Wait till you see this lady boy, dude. He crosses wires.
So you're watching Alexander the Gaped?
He did gape. He did the gaping.
Was he really?
I believe. They never show you. But you would imagine, based on
just
the voice.
once. You think he's in the desert. He's like, all right, come on. Let's see what it's all about.
Toss one in me here.
Yeah, someone toss one in him.
If you're editing this video, toss in a little screenshot of the lady boy.
For sure, dude. For sure. I'll see what you're. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what's up with it, and then I'm gonna react like, okay, guys, this lady boy's pretty fucking hot right now.
Dude.
Okay, let's get back in there.
Incredible
okay, cool.
lady boys.
Whoa.
You gotta see Alexander.
Dude.
You're gonna like it.
Okay, good.
You're gonna like to see those lady boys getting trounced.
Does he do a speech in the movie?
Several.
With the one where he's like,
Several.
Where the people turn on him.
Yes.
Dude, that's a sick speech.
Yeah. Where he's like, I want greatness, dude. You guys are fucking bailing on me right now.
He talks about my father. No, he sends, at the end of, Alexander sent his troops home. At a certain point, they crushed so hard, he was like, hey, for all the older soldiers, like, you guys did it, go home. And they started being like, fuck you, dude, we're not fucking gay. And he's like, I never said you guys are gay.
No, in the movie, all his troops are being gay. Mm-hmm. And they're like, dude, in their defense, they had been on campaign for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Mm-hmm. They reached the whole way to, like, India.
Yeah.
From, like, Greece. And they were like, dude, what are we doing? Can we stop? These guys have elephants. We've never seen these things. We're getting fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, no.
And then, he was like, I'm going to go. You guys can go home if you're gay.
I think after that, he gave the speech where he eventually was like, all right, dudes. Because they tried to chicken out on him, I think.
Yeah.
And he like, in the one speech he talked about his dad, he's like, dude, my dad put Macedonia on the map. And then...
Philip, I believe.
Yeah. And then I come up.
Kind of like me.
Ooh, damn, dude.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of similarities.
Can you change your name legally to Shane the Great?
Alexander the Great.
Shane the Great.
Shane the Great? Perhaps.
You might have to change your name before you go down to Alabama. Before you do that show in Alabama, you must be Shane the Great.
It is, for real, a black comic name. Shane the Great. Haha. Shane the Great, funny man.
I'm still digging into the not Rome book, the Debt book, and they go back through ancient Rome and Greece and how, like, that was pretty much the deal. You would... They were just people, if you got captured in war, people were going to fuck you in the butt.
Yeah.
And then you could slowly start to get your way out of being like a slave, but then they would still like sell their ass. And it was one of those things where it was like, basically in Rome, it was like you could fuck dudes in the ass, but if you got fucked, they were like, loser. It was kind of one of those things where like,
I think that like is like Afghanistan.
It was for poor people.
I think that holds up in a lot of countries.
It was trashy to get fucked in the butt. Oh yeah, for sure.
Uncouth.
It was one of those things that were like,
yeah,
it's probably out there getting fucked in the ass. There was like 4 jobs.
Imagine if you could totally disassociate like what was going on, take one in the butt through like zero. It had no effect on you. Like you weren't like, this sucks. You could just go around, take stuff in the ass, and then gain money. You could get coins whenever you wanted.
True.
You'd be like, somebody just tossed one in me.
I would say yes, you could get came inside of, but there was no Astroglide back then, so it was like, you know, it would just be like lamp oil.
I bet there was. Yeah, I bet they had something.
They probably did have some stuff.
I mean, think of what you would do as like a young lad. What you would go for lube.
True.
They were just doing that.
No, you're right. They had olive oil.
They had stuff.
They had olive oil. They'd drizzle. They'd drizzle a little
loogies.
bit. Some loogies.
Some guys' loogies.
But dude, they
jar loogies.
Oh, just spitting,
break it out, just
spitting right up your fucking,
right in your keister.
just like your livelihood butthole. That was your fucking hammer, dude. They were just fucking, you're fucking cleaning that thing out every day, dude. I'm telling you, that was life or death.
What, taking in the
Like
keys?
dude's butthole. Like a young Greek boy would come. A lot of Greeks would come to Rome to gain citizenship, so you could sell yourself into slavery, then have one of your affluent friends buy you out of it. But dude, like the guy could come if you were there for like, you know, say like the dude got like his donkey's leg got broken.
Yeah.
Your master could be like, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. Like, no, it's just a misunderstanding. I'm rich. I swear I'm rich. And they'd be like, there's no recourse.
Sure.
Like, I'm gonna fucking kill. They could kill you, fuck you in the ass. But a lot of times, they would. It was like a citizenship.
You should do a history podcast,
dude. I'm
just the history of getting fucked in the ass.
I'm just ancient history. I'm strictly ancient history, dude. Dude, they got into the idea of free peasantry. That's what that we're right now. The people that go to Democracy Republic, we're in a free peasantry system. They figured out around the actual age. I mean, dude, please stop me if I'm getting too technical. But around the actual age, about 800 BC to 600 AD, they started.
You got some. You're in my ass right now. I'm just like, oh, I can do it for a couple coins. I can let this guy butt fuck me. Go ahead.
But a bunch of places all at once kind of figured out, because really it would, like, you know, say like we're a feudal society. We're obviously the lords. These are our vassals.
I looked over. He's sitting there. He's like,
so we're lords. Or say you're the lord. I'm your vassal. And then I vassal out. Well, just
wait, let's go.
Well, there was no equality.
I'm Robert. You're the
true,
hand.
but exactly. But there's no. It was very. It was hierarchical. Dude. Feelings aside, I just care about getting accurate to the historical portrayal.
Okay.
So it has to be.
I'm Robert. You're Ned.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Still, it's a vassal relationship.
And this is the Hound and the Mountain.
Yeah, but
Two brothers.
I want to break them down to peasants,
right.
so we can go
They
all
are
the way
peasants.
through. So we could say,
Disgusting.
Lemaire could be perhaps Littletooth, and then Noah maybe a peasant. Again, this has nothing to do with you sending me mean texts. It could be anyone. Could be.
Yes. No, you're clearly a peasant.
So they figured. So like, we would just dominate each other all day long, and then the military was for like noble-born. So like the noble-borns would go out and be like, let's go conquer, and they'd be like, yeah, and like, you know, fight people and all that stuff. And then they figured out, they're like, all right, if we give the peasants, if we give the peasants a little bit of land and then give them coins and say like, hey, this is money, come bring us money. You know, I think I talked about this before. Just bring us a little bit of money. It's called taxes. Otherwise, we'll fucking kill you. So then you're working the farm, and they're like, hey, the farm's kind of falling behind. You had a bad crop. Let's get some of those boys going into the army. We'll give you some money. So then they figured out they had a free peasantry. They would take the farmers' sons and put them into war, and let basically the poor people go start doing their conquering for them, and it worked out awesome. But the problem was, in order to conquer, you need more money. So then they would go get mines. They would take people over, get slaves to mine more money, so they can get more soldiers, and the whole thing kind of went on and on and on. But pretty sick. So that's how we live in a free peasantry right now. So you free your peasants, but then you draft all of their children, and you make it like hard for them to kind of get ahead, but you offer like make sure the military is like a significant amount of money, just enough. And you just constantly just keep milling people over. That's why you can't let people get too affluent, because the military enlistment falls off. So, dude, they like have documents saying all this stuff. There was India, Rome, Greece. Dude, Greece was fucking hilarious too, because in Greece they didn't do when money first came out, Greeks, you had a farm. So you're like, you saw money, and the commerce was for kind of peasants. You're like, ew, dude. And as an affluent Greek, you just trained for the Olympics. So you just like try to get, you would stay on your farm, like
you got naked wrestle.
Yeah, you would naked wrestle, and then you would just fuck boys. Like that was a big rite of passage.
So it was a paradise.
It was guy heaven.
It was the guy.
So you would wrestle, train, argue philosophically, and then be like, let's get one. I like that boy. I'm going to train him, and you would like give this boy everything you know.
That's like how I approached open mic comedy, I was like, I like that boy. I brought in the young Mexer, and I plowed him
for sure
for spots. I sunk my dong into him deep.
Had to, dude. And then that would be. I mean, that gets into another thing too of it's called homosexual reproduction. So there's like, you can reproduce with a woman, but your offspring, your biological offspring, is going to be half that woman. If you want a pure son, you have a young boy in a homosexual relationship, and you download your entire spirit into that person, and then that's another part of your legacy that's more truly.
Did you tell Bill this?
No, I haven't told him.
That was like a tip he was on.
Really?
He was like, I mean, it doesn't have to be. He was like, it would be cooler if guys could just marry other guys and reproduce with guys. He said that.
It's tough staying in the closet when you're autistic, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny too because he's like autistic gay. He's not doing it because he's sexually attracted.
I mean, I think that's what the allegory of the cave was about. It's just a guy like 69ing. Like, can you, if a hairy butthole is in front of your face as you suck your master's dick, can you really see what's happening, dude?
I can't believe people think this podcast sucks.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
It's just you and me sitting there like, we should fuck kids. No, we would never. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude. That could have been the downfall of Greece, man.
They got too butt friendly.
The lower classes were like,
they got real butt
enterprising,
hungry.
enterprising and doing things, and the elites were like, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
and just like sat around, kicked some ideas around, and then the Romans fucking came through.
My headache's going away. You charmed it out of me.
Ancient history, dude.
That's all I needed.